The other thing that came to mind as I was thinking about this, and this is somewhat off track, but it's on the question of power. Maybe it's not off track. And I'm not quite sure how to formulate this, and I've thought about whether I should, but I'll take a stab at it anyway. Race and slavery are often conflated. They're seen together. We're talking about these two entities as if they are one. They're definitely related because slavery in America was racially based. But white supremacy, the doctrine of white supremacy, the ideology of white supremacy, was an integral part of the revolution and the early American Republic. It implicates state formation and ideas about citizenship from the very, very beginning. And this is something that lives with us till this day, to the extent that people who immigrate to the United States, I was reading an article about Africans who come to this country and they put down that they are white, because whiteness means something. Whiteness is not the color, it's the idea of whiteness. And I would like to see an open discussion, more discussion about the doctrine of white supremacy in the American Revolution, not just race and slavery, we go back and forth between those two things, but really teasing out what that ideology means, what it has meant. I mean, Winthrop Jordan has obviously told us a lot about that, but I'd like to have that revived and actually have those words. I'm not demanding what people say in their writing, but actually see white supremacy as a part of something that we think of and unpack. And it was mentioned yesterday, Latin America, as a possible way of comparative, to do a comparison, to figure out what does this mean? How is this developed? How is it disseminated? How do people in New England, how do people in the South construct their vision of themselves based upon this doctrine of white supremacy that not only affects blacks, obviously, enslaved or free blacks, but whites as well. So that is something else that I would like to be a part of the new narrative. We have to decide where this ideology of white supremacy fits within the narrative, and this comparative view, as I suggested, may yield some results. Latin America, other places, certainly the global turn is a way to look at how blacks have been viewed in all parts of the globe, not just in the matter of living under the slave system, but as people once, even if they're freed, living under the doctrine of white supremacy.